probably not wondering why this is a Dutch angle shot. But you should, because Dutch angle shots are known for inducing stress in audiences. Stress in proper amounts for proper reasons helps us, moves us to act and uphold responsibilities such as going to work or school. However, you can experience unnatural amounts of stress at unnatural times, for unnatural reasons, in unnatural places. And we call that an anxiety disorder. Or disorders. Mental disorders affect the 6 different functions of your brain, them being thinking, your perception, your emotion, your behavior, your physical or somatic symptoms, and your brain's signaling. How am I even supposed to show that? Anxiety has to do with the signaling part. Your brain freaks out when it most probably shouldn't, pumping itself full of chemicals like epinephrine, norepinephrine, and cortisol. The exact symptoms differ from disorder to disorder, but they generally involve symptoms such as headaches, irritable mood, restlessness, loss of concentration, fatigue, inability to control feelings of worry and fear, and panic attacks. Panic attacks can usually be identified by an individual sweating, trembling, having a pounding and quick heartbeat, experiencing chest pains, and that, symptoms will be showing when they don't have a reason to. Like if you just ran a marathon, of course you're going to have a pounding heartbeat and sweating. There's plenty of anxiety disorders, so I'll just focus on some of the most common. Generalized anxiety disorder, or GAD, affects about 2% of adults in a population in any given year. Generalized anxiety disorder, or GAD, is the incessant and uncontrollable worry about things even when there is no discernible reason. I was going to do more effort, but I ran out of time. Generalized anxiety disorder is more than just being a worrywart. It is constant, near daily, unavoidable worry and anxiety. It's not fully known why some people develop GAD and others don't, but the general consensus is that improper management of stress as well as inherited genetics and drug abuse cause the disorder. The symptoms include all the general symptoms I mentioned earlier, as well as being unable to concentrate, unable to sleep, and urinating often. Panic disorder and/or agoraphobia affects about 5% of the population. Panic disorder and agoraphobia are often but not always comorbid. Panic disorder causes panic attacks and extreme anxiety in situations or places where most wouldn't have it, such as just walking around or sitting at home, with attacks lasting rarely more than 20 minutes, though they can go on for over an hour. These attacks come like a thief in the night, striking without warning and leaving soon after arriving, with attacks lasting rarely over 20 minutes, though they can go for upwards of an hour. The symptoms are in line with all the other anxiety disorders, sweating, heavy and rapid heartbeats, though panic disorder adds a potentially intense fear of total loss of control over oneself, or death. These panic attacks may cause people to avoid places where panic attacks may occur, as well as develop a fear of said places while experiencing worry over having another panic attack. Social anxiety disorder affects about 7% of the population. Social anxiety disorder is worrying that others will judge everything you do in a negative way and/or feeling embarrassed easily in social situations. Individuals affected may experience an intense belief that they may be considered worthless or lesser than if anyone detects a flaw in them. They often experience panic symptoms in social situations and may actively avoid social situations. And while it may seem similar, this is separate and not to be confused with panic disorder and/or agoraphobia. Some people may try to cope with the disorder by being perfect and doing everything well, which isn't a problem for me because I am perfect, and I'm just amazing in everything I do, and I never make any mistakes. Social anxiety disorder is the most common anxiety disorder, except for specific phobias, affecting about 8 to 12% of the population. And I forgot to mention this for the other ones, but on average, women experience all anxiety disorders more. A phobia is an intense fear and anxiety in response to something. Anything, really, be it legitimately dangerous or not. People with a phobia of something may experience all the usual anxiety symptoms, as well as being stunned or unable to act when exposed to whatever that phobia may be. They range from literally death to life. You can even have a phobia of a phobia, which I don't have. Boy, am I lucky. I have no social anxiety disorders, or just anxiety disorders in general. Feels good. Oh no, I have an anxiety disorder. My whole life and every aspect of it is ruined. No, it's not true. We made it up. It's a fiction made by a team of writers. It's me. To be diagnosed, you'll need to be demonstrating the symptoms of one of the given disorders mentioned. And those symptoms need to cause problems with your day-to-day living, at least semi-frequently, for at least 6 months. If you believe you've been demonstrating those symptoms for 6 months or more, ask your family doctor to see a psychiatrist, as that psychiatrist can diagnose you. And once diagnosed, you can begin to get professional help with your anxiety. This professional help can come in many forms, such as medications like SSRIs, therapy such as cognitive behavioral therapy or talk therapy, but there are also ways to get help for your anxiety before you are diagnosed and before you can get professional help, such as proper diet and exercise, or even just simple mindfulness practices like breathing techniques. You may not fully remove an anxiety disorder from yourself once you've been diagnosed. However, you can get it to a point that is manageable in your day-to-day life and doesn't cause much problems, and it can even become negligible.